Can you remember when and why you decided to pursue a career in the healthcare sector?
I do remember when exactly I decided to pursue a career in health, and that was because of my very lovely Nana. So I was about 16 and my Nana, who I was very close to, suffered a stroke, and it was quite debilitating. And we watched her and supported her with the health staff move from not being able to move at all to being pretty independent. And so we could just see that if you had the right skill, the right advice, and you worked hard, that you could overcome all kinds of things. It was a very positive environment that she was in, and us, so we learned more than just the physical stuff of health. I also worked in a different health service as an assistant, so I was able to see other people prioritise their own health and function. And I also worked as a gymnastics coach, so that was really interesting too, to see how you can manipulate movement in order to make things work better. For example, if you're walking along a beam, you can strengthen your ankles so they work really well. You can practice balancing on your toes, and you can also improve your posture, and that makes you better. So I was able to see from a semi-elite level right through to dysfunction that how movement, exercise can influence function.
What's your current position at TDHS and what was your pathway to the role?
My current position is allied health assistant, so I work with different allied health professionals, but mainly I'm pretty fortunate because I work pretty independently and just take advice from them, which is a very privileged position to be in. So I started off doing phys ed teaching at university. As I said before, I wanted to go into health but didn't quite get the marks to do OT, which I wanted, but that's okay. There's a lesson for that later on for anybody else who's thinking of that. And moved into phys ed, which was fantastic, and so studied exercise science and health sciences with that. And then after teaching for a few years, this job came up here, which was 16 years ago, I think. Jumped at the chance, and it was like the perfect amalgamation of what I knew, what I could apply, and what I was really passionate about right back when I was 16 and through when I was a grown-up. Yeah, so I've had some support along the way through, because the role itself has evolved. Allied Health Assistance is only a relatively new career, and I was able to finish a course with the support of TDHS over at Warrnambool, Southwest TAFE. But there's nothing more humbling than working in health. You always realise how much you don't know. But that's what makes it really stimulating as well. So hopefully I'll still be doing something similar to this, but evolving as health changes and evolves as well.
Why do you enjoy working in the healthcare sector in Timboon?
I enjoy working in the healthcare sector in Timboon in this role because I get to hang out with really positive and proactive people. Like I said before, I admire the fact that people can prioritise their own health, and we see that definitely in here. So those priorities of their health and choosing exercise to be part of that health journey can be from overcoming dysfunction, like Nana, and moving to potential. It can also be just to getting by your activities of daily living. It can be linked also working to be as independent as possible. But then it can also be about investing in your health in your 50s and 60s and 70s so that you live the best life that you can right through to your 90s. So although I'm really privileged to work with people across the lifespan, the adult lifespan, it's mainly with older adults, and that's where I see that consistency, the commitment that people make. And you really do see the flow-on effects. They invest in their health early and they have really good outcomes as they age. So they're ageing healthy, and that's super important. And they're role modelling for me and the rest of us, so that's pretty nice too. Yeah, there's lots of people who work very hard to be as healthy as they can. I admire that.
Explain a typical day for you at TDHS.
A typical day for me starts with checking in reception, because they are the heartbeat of the organisation, and then they always know who's coming in and what time and that sort of thing, if anything's changed from the day before. So the reception staff are terrific like that. And then I will know who's coming in to visit, whether that in normal times we'll have classes that are all set up and ready to go. At the moment we're just doing one-on-ones or one-on-twos. So I might review what we did with the person in the last session. But everybody who comes in has a goal or two to work towards, and that's what it's about, is helping them to support getting their goals. And so we might have, say, 6 people coming in. Someone might be preparing for some upcoming surgery, someone might be recovering from surgery and doing their rehab, someone else might be working really hard to slow the progression of their disease, someone else might be just holding it together to put some structure in their week so that their mental health, their emotional health is kept in good check. Someone else might be just coming in to stay healthy as the worried well, but usually they're the people who are on hold for the moment because they can take care of themselves. So reviewing their goals, making sure we've got everything all set up to support them. Then we've got our face-to-face, which is the best part of the job. Then and it's not just about bending elbows and doing sit to stands. It's about, how's the rest of your life travelling along? You never know what might come up. So for example, someone may be talking about how they are getting really strong through their legs to use the loo, but they're finding that they're using the loo 5 or 6 times a day, or that's getting their sleep disrupted. So then we'll hook them up perhaps with the continence nurse. So things like that come out of those meetings. There might be a little bit of paperwork to do in my job. There's professional development to catch up on as well. There's a bit of study coming up for all of our staff pretty soon. There's a few boxes to tick. There's always a meeting or two. You might check in with the nurses on staff on the ward, see if there's any changes there that we can support people's journeys with. We might stop for a cuppa, catch up with our other staff. That's pretty nice too. We work with some lovely people. Finance might be chasing you for something. So it's a very interesting and varied job in the typical day. But always central to my job is making sure that the goals of each individual that comes in face-to-face are being worked towards.
What would you say to someone thinking about a career as a health or care worker?
I think that moving into healthcare is a fantastic move. There's so much variety in your work, and as I mentioned before, all of the people that are involved in my day-to-day work through reception. Our support staff across the board are all involved in everyone's care. So people who come into hospital as an outpatient or as an inpatient don't see how many other people are behind the scenes working. So you can work in healthcare in lots of different ways. You can work in administrative capacity, or the face-to-face, or as a nurse, but then there's lots of different levels as well. So if you've just finished Year 12, or know someone in your life who's just finished Year 10, Year 11 or Year 12, there's always pathways into health, right through to postgraduate level. And that's a lovely thing here. We get to work with everyone with lots of different backgrounds, lots of different levels of education, but we're all here on the same page. So if you're the sort of person who can walk in the shoes of someone else, and is interested in walking that journey beside the same person, then definitely look at health and find out all the different ways that you can get into it. Southwest TAFE has a free course at the moment, which is entry level into nursing. There's disability working, there's home care, there's allied health assistance like what I did. There's a whole lot of different stuff. So yeah, would definitely recommend and just find your pathway in. Good luck.